Sure. Are you gonna climb over? You can.
August 23rd, 1864, I wrote and presented to my cabinet a sealed memorandum in which I pledged my personal as well as the administration's support of the new president in anticipation of my likely electoral defeat in the impending presidential election in November. The memorandum read, "This morning, as for some days past, it seems exceedingly probable that this administration will not be re-elected. Then it will be my duty to so cooperate with the president-elect as to save the Union between the election and the inauguration, as he will have secured his election on such ground that he cannot possibly save it afterwards. I am going to be beaten, and unless some dramatic change takes place, badly beaten." The only bright spot in all of this gloom and despair was General Grant's promise to me that he intended to fight it out on this line, even if it takes all summer. It was Sherman's dramatic capture of Atlanta in September 1864 that reversed the trend, paving the way for a landslide victory. Here to sing for us, "I Made My Plans for the Summer," is our talented soloist, Barb Dunker.
What, only one move tonight?
Like dashing, like strong, as a fellow should be. I met him walking the bright way, the white way. I smiled when he came up to me. He said, please excuse me, there's something about you, something that tells me I can't live without you. Please, you must know I am of the smart set. May I call when the summer is here? I said, nay, on your way. I've made my plans for the summer. I'm dreaming of the brighter days. When I hear the roll of the drummer, the music the big band plays, with cooing and cooing at midnight, and shooting the shoots at the dark. From me to you, that's what I'll do down at Luna Park. I met him again alone, roaming and gloaming out on the silvery sand. He seemed very happy to meet me and greet me, and gave me his strong right hand. He said, there is something that I would do marriage, if you would have me and will have a carriage. Please, I said, give me time to decide. Call again when the summer is through. Till that day, on your way. I've made my plans for the summer. I'm dreaming of happy days. When I hear the roll of the drummer, the music the big band plays, with cooing and cooing at twilight, and shooting the shoots after dark. From me to you, that's what I'll do down in Luna Park.
Thank you. Mankato Area Community Band, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Sarah. That was excellent. Our next piece, with Malice Toward None, is a powerful arrangement for concert band. It is a musical tribute to the Civil War era. Highly informative, the music traces the entire scope of the epic struggle. Battle Hymn of the Republic, Battle Cry of Freedom, Dixie, and Ara Lee are crafted into an emotionally charged expression of musical reverence. Dramatic excerpts from several of my speeches, among them the second inaugural address, delivered on March 4th, 1865, are included. born in a Kentucky log cabin on February 12, 1809, raised in the backwoods of Indiana, I moved to my adopted state of Illinois at the age of 21. I was a self-educated businessman, lawyer, state legislator, and United States congressman who endured two failed attempts to become a member of the United States Senate before being elected to the nation's highest office in 1860 as the 16th President of the United States. Known as the Great Emancipator, I championed the cause for equal rights amongst all people during the time of our country's greatest conflict, the American Civil War. Battle Cry of Freedom originally advocated the cause of the Union when written in 1862. I used the song during the presidential campaign of 1864. Ironically, the song's popularity led the conflicting enemies to adapt the same melody to different lyrics. As crowds gathered on the White House lawn, awaiting the details of General Lee's surrender, I asked the Marine Band to play a personal favorite of mine, Dixie. Written by Northerner Daniel Emmett, the song many associated with the Southern cause became a gesture of conciliation from the great unifier. The Civil War was the most devastating war in America's history. In many respects, it split us apart. Yet in the end, we were able to come together as one nation. Listen closely to the following words. Let North and South, let all Americans, let all lovers of liberty everywhere join in the great and good work. If we do this, we shall not only have saved the Union, but we shall have saved it as to make and keep it forever worthy of the saving. We shall have so saved it that succeeding millions of free, happy people the world over shall rise up and call us blessed to the latest generation. On April 14th, 1865, while attending a play with my wife Mary, I was struck down by an assassin's bullet. A mournful nation grieved the loss of their president as my coffin made a 2-week journey home to Springfield, Illinois, where I was laid to rest. The love of freedom by the man many consider our greatest president can be felt in these words. I leave you, hoping that the lamp of liberty will burn in your bosoms until there shall no longer be a doubt that all men are created free and equal. With malice toward none, with charity for all, with firmness in the right. As God gives us to see the right, let us strive on to finish the work we are in, to bind up the nation's wounds, to care for him who shall have borne the battle, and for his widow and his orphan, to do all which may achieve and cherish a just and lasting peace among ourselves and with all nations. Attorney Francis Scott Key was an eyewitness to the bombardment of Fort McHenry and Baltimore Harbor by British ships during the War of 1812. In the early morning hours of September 14, 1814, as he anxiously watched from aboard a British vessel, the smoke cleared just enough that Key could make out the United States flag still waving from the fort. It had not fallen. Inspired, Key quickly scribbled down the lines to a poem he entitled Defense of Fort McHenry. Shortly thereafter, the poem was set to the tune of a popular British drinking song of the period, To Anacron in Heaven. From these humble origins, the Star-Spangled Banner was born. It became a popular Union patriotic song during the Civil War, and by 1889, it had been recognized for official use by the United States Navy. It wasn't until March 3, 1931, however, that this song became our nation's official national anthem.